know I got the receipts, girl. You know I got the receipts. Okay, guys, welcome back to the stream. This is going to be part 2 of the Kevin Samuels live documentary. So please let me know if you guys can hear. I don't think that we really did not get cut off because of any type of copyright claims or anything like that. I think I was just having some issues with the stream, but that's fine because we need to break it up anyway, because it is a lot of information. So this is just going to be part 2. We're going to jump right in where we left off. So the video where he went viral, okay, in a sense where the woman was talking about she, wanted a high value man because she feels as though she has a business and she meets men that are not on her level. And so she feels as though she needs to meet a man that is high level. So Kevin Samuels basically tells this woman that she is not accepting the men that she can get because she's not high level material. She's not what they want because she has a son that is 13. The father of the son is not in the child's life, so he's somewhat sketchy. So high level men do not want her because those type of men are out of her reach. They don't want a woman that has children and all of this. Let's try to see if it plays through. If it doesn't, then I will just give the commentary on it. But I really wanted you guys to hear it because I had some things that I wanted to share and review about what she actually said.
Online earlier.
But all you have to do, man, but see, what kind of business do you own?
I own a pet grooming, doggy daycare, and indoor
Okay,
dog
so
park.
what you're basically trying to do is I have a disagreement day, and you basically came in and said, damn your topic, I want to ask you what I want to ask you. And but you are more than welcome to go on my website and purchase your time to talk with me one-on-one. Because what you're trying to do is rather rude, but I will go ahead and do it because I'm going to use this as a teaching lesson. How old are you?
So he basically told her, and I get that, she has a business. She's a groomer. And he said, I have a business and you're outside of what I'm covering today. And if you want to book time with me to get your questions answered about a relationship and what have you, and what it is that you need answered, you can book an appointment. He's saying you can go pay for my services. What you're doing is rude. And she was a type of a caller that when he's trying to speak and give her protocol and tell her what he would really appreciate, she still was like, I don't care. I want you to listen to what I have to say. Yeah, but going over top of it. Yeah, I know. And going over top of it and not really listening. I did notice that she was doing that. And it was like, no matter what he said to her, she still had her agenda.
How old are you?
I'm 35.
35 years old. 35 years old and you're a business owner.
Uh-huh.
And what's your question?
So my issue is, I want to know, at what point when I'm just meeting a guy do I tell him that I'm a business owner? Because my problem is that when I try to date down and the conversation comes up to where I own a business, the guy is either like, hey, can I come join in on you on that business? Or can I put some money and be a business partner? And I'm not looking for that. And I honestly...
hold on. I need to be clear on this subject. Where are you at?
North Carolina.
And you're saying when to tell somebody you own a business?
Because I find when I date down, guys see an interest and want to be like a business partner. And I'm learning that maybe I need a high value man because that's what.
Well, first off, ma'am, I really don't understand. What kind of man are you talking about? Because
okay, so we might be there might be something wrong with this clip itself when I try to load it. I see that we're getting a little bit farther and then, it's just not giving. It just doesn't want to play. So really what she basically is saying, the woman says, is that, when she dates down, she basically makes more money than the type of men that she finds. She has a son. She's a single mother. She's not married. The father's not in the life. So Kevin basically goes in. You guys have seen the video. You've heard the footage. He basically goes in on her and tells her that men that you want, they don't want you. The high level men that you're saying make 6 figures or more. Do you know any men like that in your life? Do you even know the type of men that you're looking for? Do you even have access to those type of men in your everyday life? She says, yes, my uncle and my father, they make that type of money. They're on that level. And he says, well, the men that you're looking for don't want you. They don't want a woman that has baggage, basically. She still allowed him to continue on with what he was saying. She said, you're being mean. Why are you being mean? And he hung up on her, told her off, get off my phone, and hung up on her. That was the start of him doing that, having that type of banter with women. So I've taken it upon myself to put together some clips of how he started to get down. Now, he had some success. I'm not going to say that he did not have success with women and helping them, because there were some women that say they got married and everything because of Kevin Samuels. But I put together some clips to just kind of give you an idea of how he started operating and how he started moving in these streets.
The Fling Twins.
I'm going to call on Kevin's show and I'm going to tell him that because of you, I was able to snatch the ring.
All right. Congratulations, man, with that big old rock on your hand. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's real. I'll see you guys shortly. Woo! PhD Central up in this piece. Wow. Yeah. I said become a whole phase to a housewife. Yeah, you go ahead and smoke. I don't think you're ready. Yeah, for and this the whole phase. I don't think you're ready for this conversation. Go smoke that cheap ass Reggie weed and get ready for your shift at Walmart. Yeah. Kick rocks. Oh shit! Go ahead. Hey, we gotta go down to Compton to score us a bag of. We gotta go down to Compton to score us a bag of Reggie. I'm a pound. Where's Reggie Bo when you need him? I'm a pound. How much you weigh? CP. Where's Reggie Bo when you need his ass? Somebody come get Reggie Bo. I just trying to talk to these little blind chicks. I've tried to tell them I'm a pound, and they just, I don't know. Sometimes, I just be snapping on these chicks, get all hold out. I just, oh yeah, let her talk to herself.
I just say, and to just end that, with that being said, I try not to have that happen with me and my kids. You know what I mean? So,
You try not
I
to do
step
what
out.
now with your kids?
The things that I've seen,
Mhm.
with my own family, I try not to do that. I try to do the opposite.
Okay.
But the thing is, like, if you're even friends with someone that isn't doing the same thing,
I don't know what you're
that's
talking about, ma'am.
when
Okay, ma'am,
um
you're not making any.
if
Okay, stop. I need you to breathe.
okay,
You're just talking. I try not to do things the same. I don't know what you're talking about. Do you have kids at home?
I do.
Are you married?
I'm not.
All right. Are you seeing someone?
No.
So what are we talking about?
We were talking about a comment that I've heard you make a couple of times as far as
You're not married.
um
You're not seeing anybody. So why should you have any discord with your kids? There's no
because
relationship.
that doesn't mean that I'm never going to see anyone. That doesn't mean that I'm not always dating, so that's fine.
Fuck
Because
this
I
shit,
know
I'm out.
the things that I don't do.
Fuck this shit, I'm
You
out.
idiot woman!
Idiot woman. I'ma just grab myself and excuse me, please.
But I don't have another thing I want to say.
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
Idiot woman!
Idiot woman. I'm just rapping, but I don't really care. I'ma get the fuck out of here. This shit, I'm out.
Respect my stuff. But I feel as though
Embarrassing.
I told you, what did I tell you? I am a strong, independent woman. And when did I tell you? A long time ago. You know what? I am a strong, independent woman.
Idiot woman! I know.
I told you, what did I tell you? Didn't I tell you? Cause I told you.
It's kind of
And
like,
when did
why
I
did this
tell you?
person
A long time
really
ago. And what did I say what happened when I told you? Exactly what just happened.
So do you think that you think that you're dating like if I date someone that's the same person
Did I not make myself clear?
as dating, as far as like the same personality? So I a better personality than somebody else.
Kevin, goddammit. Fuck this shit, I'm out.
And I'm not saying me.
Fuck this shit, I'm out. No thanks. Don't mind me. I'ma just grab my stuff and leave. Excuse me, please. Fuck this shit, I'm out. No. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Alright then. I don't know what the fuck just happened, but I don't really care. I'ma get the fuck up out of here. Fuck this shit, I'm out.
He really sat there and played all that shit.
Oh my God.
He really sat there and instead of just dropping the woman down and saying, ma'am, it's just too much. He sat there and just played clip after clip. And I was like, did she even realize what he was doing? I mean, she was so engulfed in what it was she was saying that she wasn't even paying attention that he was roasting her. And it was funny because of the sound effects and everything. But the sad reality of it is, just drop the woman down. You're making fun of her, and she obviously was serious in what she was saying. And if it wasn't what you wanted to hear, just say, lady, listen, I hear what you're saying, but it's a little overload. I'm about to drop you down. But I'm like, do she realize that he's playing all these clips? He was dragging her. Okay? So I'm just like, just drop her down, I don't know. So as we stated in the first video, you have to go on over there and check out part 1. We saw the progression of Kevin Samuels. We saw who he was prior to going viral, the viral moment, and then once he went viral, his whole aesthetic changed, okay? Once he saw what audience he was playing into, he went over those analytics. He noticed the type of men that were in his chat, what they were willing to give. He played into that fraternity of men. He went from the whole perfume, cologne, I'm a stylist, to a brand consultant, that is now offering relationship advice, telling people about what status they are in the world, where they fit in, high value versus low value. And no one gave him that title. That's why they say self-proclaimed, because all of this was of his own, progression. Right? So that's what we mean by self-proclaimed relationship guru, because where in his portfolio in the beginning, prior to the evolution, was he talking about relationships? Was he an expert on relationship? He was an expert on colognes, suits, shoes, style. He wasn't an expert on relationship. He wasn't qualified to speak on marital, statistics and all these things. Self-proclaimed. Again, nobody gave me the title. I just realized what works on YouTube, and that's what I did. Okay? I realized where the numbers were, and that's where I went. So, as time is going on, of course, people want to expose Kevin Samuels. And this surfaced about 11 months ago.
I've been wanting to talk about for a very, very, very long time, especially when I was really at the peak of my career in network marketing, because you get so many people who talk to you about their problems, their life issues, going through depression and anxiety and just all around just life. And it's always been that thing where I just felt like I could not talk about, because I was really just putting other people before myself. I was trying to protect the image of my dad, not just because he is a figure in the community and that far, but what I do always remember is that I always felt like I was second. I always felt like I didn't matter. See, look, I'm about to cry. And I told myself I'm not gonna cry about me and my dad not having a relationship anymore, but just talking about some of the things that have affected. My dad was physically there, but he was never mentally or emotionally there. And that is an issue within itself. I'm not going to talk about how my dad grew up, because I have no idea. Every time I tried to talk to him to get him to open up so that I can understand him, he just made jokes. I remember a couple of months ago, I was like, Dad, did you ever deal with any traumas growing up that made you who you are? And he was like, well, that one time your Uncle D, he stuck me with a diaper pin when he was changing my diaper when I was 2. He just takes things as jokes. I don't know if it's because, as how most men are, they don't like to open up. I don't know. I really don't care, because I just feel like what you deal with growing up, you have the ability to decide how you're going to use that. You can use it to hurt people, or you can use it to say, you know what, I don't want to instill that in the people in my life. And you just keep it moving. So I primarily spent a lot of time at my dad's mother's house growing up, because my sister didn't like going over there. She hated it. And I loved it, because not only did I just absolutely love my grandmother and her husband, but because I was the only one there, I always got the attention there that I did not get at home. So I felt loved. I felt all of that. And I just became really depressed. For 9 years, I dealt with depression. I dealt with a lot of anxiety. I used to have panic attacks in my sleep, waking up, just feeling like I couldn't breathe. And it just was really bad, because I had to watch her disintegrate, literally. She had pancreatic cancer, and she died about 2.5 years breakdowns because you literally watch somebody get really, really bad. I became suicidal because I just felt like the one person that I never had to question their love for me was gone. Yeah, I just always felt like I was second. One of the things that my dad used to do that really bothered me, and he actually laughed about it in Sunday's incident, and basically kind of threw his hands up as if it was like, whatever, like that's what, he literally said, that's what you're mad about. I remember growing up, he grabbed me by my hair, and in the midst of doing that, threw my head up against the car window. And I just remember thinking to myself, what did I do wrong? And you're talking about somebody.
Now, this is a recording of his daughter. This is allegedly, reportedly, that this was his daughter that was speaking out. Now, this has recently been trending again because of his death, and people thought that this was her just coming out. Well, this came out 11 months ago. This was prior to his death, this recording. Okay? So it's only trending now because he passed, and people are saying that she's speaking out about her dad. Well, in this clip, it is obvious that she stated that the mom, Kevin Samuels' mother, passed away. We reviewed that last night. So that's how you know that this is an old recording, because she revealed back then that the mom passed away, but only now, since that he's passed, the mom is on NBC stating that she's Beverly Samuels Birch. She's Kevin Samuels' mother. So had this been recent, I don't think that they would have made that blunder and made that mistake and said that she passed. They wouldn't have said that. So they didn't know that he was going to be passing. They didn't know that this was going to come back up again, and someone's going to put two and two together and say, hey, there really is a mother still living. Why would she say that? So all the people that said, well, Sweet Pea, you can be, you can have the mother on the mom's side. You can have a great-grand. She specifically said her dad's mom, period. Stop trying to interject what you want to hear. She said her dad's mom. There's only one dad. There's only one, Kevin Samuels. All right. So she was alleging in this video that his mother died of pancreatic cancer. And we know that there is a woman claiming to be Kevin Samuels' mother that reported to NBC. She found out her son was, passed away, deceased through blogs. Okay? And please give her family some space.
I didn't even get whoopings. I didn't get punishment. I didn't get grounded. I didn't get any of that. Because I was a good kid. I had a smart mouth sometimes. Because I was just too smart for my own good. But I was a good kid. So to not even get whoopings and to have something like that happen was really traumatic. And I remember when we got home, when I got out the car, he threw me up against the car. Probably one of the reasons why I have bad back. My back is horrible. And that was that. I just remember hating him and feeling like the person that's supposed to protect me is not.
So she said the reason why she has a bad back is probably because he threw her up against a car when she was younger. So this is claims and accusations that the young lady is making. And whether you like Kevin Samuels or you don't like Kevin Samuels, those are pretty alarming statements. So before Kevin Samuels became famous, before he went viral, before he had millions of subscribers, before he made all this money as a high value man, he actually owed back child support. Now, in this exposing of Kevin Samuels when he started, because that's what happens. When you make it big, you strike it big, people start digging and they start looking for your dirty laundry. So it was discovered that he was divorced. And people found the divorce decree. In the marriage of Sherry LaShawn Samuels and Kevin Roshan Samuels on March 4th, 2005, this matter regularly came on the hearing pursuant to the motion for default judgment filed by petitioner herein on February 8, 2005. The court found that respondent has failed to respond or answer as required by the court and respondent is in default. The court found that this matter was properly presented for hearing by petitioner at this time, whereupon the court proceeded to review the court file and appearance docket and receive the evidence and the argument of counsel. On March 4, 2005, being fully advised in the premises, the court found, ordered, adjudged, and decreed as follows. Petitioner and respondent were lawfully married on September 15, 2002 in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, and have ever since been husband and wife. The parties are the parents of the following minor child, Caitlin Samuels, born June 29, 2000, in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. The parties have no other minor children, and the petitioner is not pregnant. Both parties were bona fide residents of this state for more than 6 consecutive months prior to the filing of this action. The court has subject matter jurisdiction concerning this action, and venue is proper in this county under all applicable state and federal law, including Uniform Child Custody Jurisdiction and Enforcement Act and Oklahoma's Uniform Interstate Family Support and the Federal Parental Kidnapping Provision Act and Oklahoma's Uniform Interstate Family Support Act. The court has and should exercise jurisdiction to enter initial child custody, visitation, and support decrees under said state and federal law and enter orders concerning the same as are more specifically hereinafter set forth. More particularly, at the commencement of this action, Oklahoma was the home state of the said minor child, as the term is defined by said statute, and it has since remained and is now her home state. It is the best interest of the minor child that this state assume jurisdiction because the child and her parents, the parties hereto, have significant connections with this state, and there is available in this state substantial evidence concerning the child's present and future care, protection, training, and personal relationships, and the child is physically present in this state. Other than the parties hereto, no other person has or claims to have custody or visitation rights concerning the minor child. The court should exercise its jurisdiction to enter initial child custody, visitation, and support decrees concerning the minor child. The parties' marriage should be dissolved, and a divorce should be awarded to both parties by reason of the incompatibility of each party to the other. She requesting the same, petitioner should be restored to her former last name, Cravens. Custody of the said minor child should be awarded to the petitioner, and respondent should be awarded visitation with her in accordance with the court's modified visitation schedule. So she got awarded custody of the child. Each party should be entitled to telephone the child at all reasonable times, and the child should be entitled to telephone her parents at any time. Each party should be entitled to participate in all birthday, school, or extracurricular activities of the child, and each party should keep the other informed of all such events on a regular basis. Each party should be equally entitled to access and have all medical, hospital, school, and all other records of the child, and neither party should inhibit or interfere with such access, and in the event that any doctor, hospital, teacher, or other person does not freely grant such access, each party should take action as is necessary to cause such access to occur. The party's child support computation form has been completed and has been approved by the court. It's on file herein, and all the information, findings, and orders contained in the child support form are hereby adopted and incorporated by reference. So they determined that the award should be set at $892.67, which to 26.7% of combined parental income, and petitioner's monthly gross income should be set at $2,448. So, which is 73.3% of combined parental income. So they were saying that Kevin Samuels was making $892.87. It says that respondent's monthly gross income, his monthly gross income was $892.67 at that time. And her income was $2,448. So it says that work-related daycare expense for the minor child presently exists and is paid by the mother in the amount set forth in said child support computation form. Health insurance for the minor child is maintained by the mother at the cost set forth in the child support computation form. The respondent, which was Kevin Samuel, should pay the petitioner child support in accordance with Oklahoma's child support guidelines, and they set it at $299.57 per month on the first day of each month beginning April 1st of 2005. Further, the respondent is currently delinquent on child support in the amount of $2,706.13. So at the time of this decree, he was behind over $2,700. And prior to him going viral on YouTube, he continued to rack up charges and child support charges and fees, and wasn't able to pay because he wasn't making as much as a perfume, cologne consultant and stylist consultant. He was struggling financially. And that is not something we all go through that. That's not something to be laughed at. That's not something to be looked down upon. Things like that happen. But he was not paying his child support, so he actually was behind and in arrears. So they went to court for a modification at one time, and they wanted it modified. Now, on this 23rd day of March 2007, comes for the hearing in the above referenced matter after adjournment from the date first scheduled for hearing on March 7, 2007. The petitioner, which was the mother, appears in person and with her attorney, and the respondent appears in person and with his attorney. And the court, after hearing the statements of counsel and testimony of witnesses and being otherwise fully advised, makes findings of fact and conclusions of law. It is therefore ordered and decreed by the court as follows. The petitioner's application for contempt citation is dismissed, and pursuant thereto, respondent withdraws his petition to vacate. The petitioner's gross monthly income, it went up. She started making more money, $3,583 per month, and the respondent was at $3,942 per month. He went up in income. The total insurance premium for the minor child is $105, and the current child care is $130. So she realized that his income level had went up, and she was asking for a modification. The respondent is ordered and directed to pay a reasonable amount of $577.97 beginning January 1st of 2007. So it went up because his level of income went up. The respondent shall also be responsible for and pay 52.4% of all employment or education-related child care incurred by the petitioner with the respondent's regular monthly child support. The respondent should also be responsible and pay 52% of all medical costs, dental, and other expenses, optometry, deductibles, co-payments. He was responsible for paying half of those. The petitioner shall advise the respondent of any change in the insurance premiums or employment-related child care as soon as she learns about it so that he can make adjustments to pay that. So the petitioner is awarded judgment against the respondent as the arrears. Now, he still had arrears through December 31st of 2006, and it then went up to $2,713 with interest until it's fully paid. Respondent is awarded visitation with the minor child on alternating weekends beginning April 6, 2007 from Friday at 8 until the following Sunday at 4. The parties shall exchange the minor child at a Denny's on Interstate 35 near Ardmore, Oklahoma. So MJ says, why are you dishing on the deceased? We are speaking on, just like anyone, people have done documentaries on Michael Jackson. They've done documentaries on people that are deceased every day. We do documentaries on R&B singers that are deceased. Whitney Houston has had documentaries done on her and videos done on her. We are speaking about Kevin Samuels because he is a YouTube content creator and he's in the press. Why would we not? Okay, so they met at a Denny's to exchange the child. And I've heard of things like that happening, maybe they want to do it in a public place when there are issues. But he said in the Vlad interview that they had a great relationship and that they were better off friends once they separated. So I don't know why you would have to meet her in a parking lot of a Denny's. Why wouldn't you guys just meet at each other's homes, drop the child off? I only know when things like this occurs when there's some type of volatile situations going on. Usually when you meet in a public place, it's because you guys don't get along. And maybe there's been domestic violence issues in the past and you need a witness. You need to be in a public setting. And that's on either end. That could be the woman likes to go off. And it could be the man. It could be either party needs to be in a public setting. So doesn't have to just be Kevin. Could have been her. We don't know because we have no idea what happened in their marriage. Nothing is public about that. We don't know what they had going on behind the scenes. Yes, Kimi Renee says he lied a lot on Vlad. Definitely. I picked up on, it just seemed like he wasn't being forthcoming and there was a lot of inconsistencies with what he said on Vlad and versus what we are starting to find out and what's coming out. So they had the modification and, the court put that in as a ruling, and on every other weekend he had visitation, and they would determine the method of transportation of the child. The petitioner should be responsible for and pay all child care support guidelines according to the law. Okay, so I did see that there was when they had this stipulation and they had the modification set, she had actually also come to the court and stated that there was some concern that the paperwork submitted was not a credible document. Okay, so she came in July 19th of 2007 after the modification, and she said she filed a motion to reconsider because the petitioner has not set forth the specific grounds to vacate a judgment, but the petitioner sets forth that the respondent submitted a less than credible document which purported to be a pay stub for his full-time employment. As to the part-time job, the respondent was unable to produce any form of proof of his earnings. Petitioner seems to be saying that the decision of the court was not sustained by sufficient evidence, a precise grounds for a new trial under paragraph whatever. There are no grounds under which fit such a demand of or request. The petitioner also claims that the court awarding respondent even numbered years on the income tax dependency exception for the child was unfair because there is a child support arrearage. This also would seem to fit under the same paragraph of 651 as the gross monthly income complaint. There is no grounds under 1031 which describe the alleged problem. The content and substance of a motion to reconsider will determine whether it is a motion for a new trial or a motion to vacate, inasmuch as every motion for a new trial includes a request to modify the court's decision. The court will recall that this matter was litigated and museum at several hearings over a period of months with petitioner's first attorney. Trial was held, evidence was presented, witnesses testified, and the court made a ruling. The petitioner refused to sign the proposed order of modification, and an appearance at the motion to settle was necessary, not with petitioner's first attorney, but with a new second attorney who did not appear at the time of any evidentiary hearings. Petitioner had every opportunity to conduct efficient discovery prior to any of the hearings, but did not. The court took into account 100% of the testimony offered regarding the respondent's income, to wit $4,500 per year at Office Depot and $2,300 per year at a fitness center. There was no other evidence presented, nor was any objection to the court's finding of respondent's annual income at $47,300 or $3,942 a month. So at that time, he was working at both places, Office Depot and a fitness center. So accordingly, the petitioner's motion to reconsider should be treated as a motion for a new trial and was therefore not timely filed and should be dismissed. In the alternative, the motion to reconsider should be denied on its merits pursuant to the foregoing. So they're basically saying you don't have any proof that anything was fake. She didn't object to when they first stated that his income was $47,300. So we basically should just dismiss this. All right. So that's really what was going on. He was ordered to pay child support. He was in arrearage, and people aired that dirty laundry. And do I consider that to be dirty laundry? Not really, because there are a lot of men that fall behind in child support payments. Now, when you are proclaiming to be what Kevin Samuel started portraying himself to be, this is where it gets complicated, because this is where people start to say, hey, you got to practice what you're preaching. When you are proclaiming to be high level, this, that, and the other, and you're putting down a class of women as though they are less than, they can't get high valued men. Black women are damaged goods. Black men, that are high figured and high dollar don't want these type of black women. They got kids, they're single, baggage. You don't want to submit. You are rebellious. All these things he was playing into a certain group of people and to the narrative that they wanted to hear, which was all about self-ego, boasting and boosting the self-ego, right? So like I said, he studied those analytics. He realized what was going on in YouTube land, realized what his people wanted to watch, what they wanted to see from him, what they wanted to hear, who his audience was. He figured out the target audience, and he started making content that was specific to them. And you can't really get mad at that, because that's really what YouTube is all about. That's what social media is all about, figuring out a market, who wants to buy, and How much am I going to charge for it? It's up to you. You keep going back for it. And, I was surprised at the level, that he was doing this on, and the prices and things that he was charging for these classes and consultations. And people were buying into it. Black women would go up on his show time and time again and be, embarrassed and be insulted, but still and yet they would go up there time and time again. In any world when you're educated, he's not lying. He was simply, I never said that he was lying. Who said he was lying? I never said that he was lying. I said that he was portraying to be something that he was not, but we watched the clips and we seen that he was not what he presented himself to be. If you go to the previous video, because this is our second video, this is part 2. If you go to the previous video, he was marketing himself. We're not saying that he was lying. We're saying that he was marketing and playing to a certain type of people. And once they figured out, and he figured out who the group he was talking to, he played into that. Now, was he lying on his life or not? We don't know because we weren't there. We didn't see what he did every day. We don't know what he did every day. But we can just go off of what we see in a video, what we see him doing, what we see him saying, how we see him living. Okay, so let's just okay, since we want to go there and talk about who he dated and what. Okay, so he started dating Britney Renner, all right? And we all know who she is. We all know who she is. Okay? She was, and is one of those women that have been around in the industry. So he went and got him a younger woman. And this is, in his mind, this is a high level woman. A woman that is thin, light skin, looks mixed or something like that, doesn't look fully black, cute, a good, piece of arm candy to a middle-aged man. And this is what he is toting around as high level. And you're talking to black women that are business owners. This woman owned a business. The woman that he put down and went viral for. You compare her to a Britney Renner. Okay, Britney Renner is famous and has a name for sleeping around with athletes and rappers. He puts this as a high-level woman compared to a woman that earns 6 figures, having her own business, is a single mother doing it well, has her own home, owns her own cars, owns her own everything, and he shoots that down for a Britney Renner. This is what he considers as high level because it is an image. It's what it looks like. Okay? Again, an image. Right? So he dated Britney Renner, and they were dating back in December of 2021. It was brief. He even bought her a sports car, honey, and took it back when they broke up. So this article was published in one of the books. Sweet Sitch turned sour as she and Kevin Samuels call it quits. And when they mean sweet sitch, they mean sweet situation, because she had it sweet. It says in this week's edition of Well, That Went Left Really Quickly, Sandra Rose is reporting that the once relationship between Instagram star and NBA player PJ Washington's baby mama, Britney Renner, and relationship expert Kevin Samuel is now on the fritz. Indeed, it was all good just a month ago when Samuels reportedly was taking Renner on shopping sprees and even gifted her with a sports car. Well, Now she's moving back in with her mom and sister, and that sports car, well, Kevin Samuels had that repossessed. So he had bought her a sports car. She was on Instagram and was in tears on an Instagram Live regarding the unfortunate turn of events. She says, can you imagine being 29 years old with a baby living back with your because you were kicked out of your house? I left willingly because I go where I'm celebrated, not tolerated. With nowhere to go, without a vehicle, can you imagine not being mentally, physically, emotionally ready to get back in the gym, let alone host a club after just having a baby? But you have to work to take care of your child. What about being harassed about receiving $200K in child support, which is not true? I don't know why anyone in their right mind would believe such a ridiculous amount, but it's clear the real pandemic is how stupid people are. Still no. Well, what about being accused of being a pedo, a gold digger? Better yet, a spiteful BM keeping their son from his dad when he wasn't even in the same state at the time. All of this has been my reality on top of trying to get things afloat financially, getting back in the groove of social media after being falling off the face of the earth and being a new mother. And she said all of that. So she didn't have anywhere to go, and she moved in with Kevin Samuels, and Kevin Samuels bought her a car. And when they broke up, he took the car back, sent her back to her mama, and looks like she was getting on her feet in this video and was getting back into her own place. But this is a high value woman because she's cute, pretty, arm candy, like he would tell the black women. Men don't care nothing about that. They don't care that you have money. They don't care that you have a business. They just want you to look good. They don't care. They just want you to look good. They don't care about your money. Here it is, the video that he went viral for. He had a black woman telling him that she felt like she needed to date up because when she date down, the men want to buy into her business. They think she needs a business partner, and that's not what she wants. And he's telling her, you're ugly, basically. And no man wants you in that level because you're ugly. You can't get that type of man. The men that you are looking for don't want you, ma'am. That's what he told her. No, they want Britney Renners. They want young girls, young women. They don't want mature, grown women. They want high-level Britney Renners. Right? Is anyone following me with that? No sound? How? You should have sound. Oh, you didn't have sound with Britney? You couldn't hear her? Oh, okay. Well, probably because it was on a screen share and this program, but I just summed it up for you what she said. That's basically what she was saying. She said that, she moved back home after 2 months of being with Kevin Samuels. And he took her car. She doesn't have a car. And in that video, she was actually getting a new place. She was just moving in after thugging it, she said. She had been thugging it for a while. Yeah, so you're not going to be able to hear it because of the way it is. So that's basically what she said. So that's what that's high level. This is the Kevin Samuels. This is who he morphed into once he went viral. He was the older man that was high level, and he was the godfather to all of the other high level men that knows what it takes to be in the in crowd, knows what it takes to be a part of the high level gang. Now, these women, black women, were so unnerved by Kevin Samuels that they organized a change.org petition. They needed 35,000 signatures, honey, and they are at 33,337 to remove Kevin from YouTube and Instagram. And people are saying, even if he has passed, we still need you to sign this because we still need to get that. We want it off of social media. It says, with the rise in violence against women, specifically African-American women, YouTuber Kevin Samuels has galvanized a community of men of all races and nationalities and the outspoken hatred of women. Removing this voice of divisive vitriol will allow women to feel safer, not only in public spaces, but in online communities as well. Freedom of speech is a constitutional right for each of us. However, when that speech is loaded with thoughts and threats of violence towards women, manipulation of young women, and even fantasies of death to women, that freedom of speech becomes a prison for all people. Those thoughts and desires are intended to isolate. Acts of violence, sexually predatory behavior, and even death has been documented as stemming from rhetoric that Mr. Samuels and his community of followers has spewed in just the last 12 months alone. Women feel unsafe in the presence of men who identify with his ideology and have been berated while going about their daily lives. Yes, even while at work, with criticisms that have been spoken directly from Mr. Samuels' mouth. The very words that were spoken on social media platforms have permeated every facet of daily life for unsuspecting women. Removing this leader of hatred against women will bring reprieve for all of us. These women are serious. They want this man out of here. They want him off of social media. They said that his presence and his words, that it was misogynistic at best, but it promoted violence, hatred, and men were just spewing nasty ideologies, berating women at work, berating women in their everyday lives. I know that there are a lot of men that have followed Kevin Samuels and they feel devastated that he passed away. I mean, I heard a man compare it to a where were you moment, similar to where were you when 9/11 occurred. It was a where were you when Kevin Samuels died. Now we all know the infamous story that Kevin Samuels, the high level Kevin Samuels, actually died with a woman that was like a traveling nurse that he had met the night before. He died in a Atlanta Buckhead apartment. They're stating, if he was so high level, how did you die in an apartment? You guys know that some of these buildings, they are very lofty, condominium type. So it could have been a very nice apartment complex. I wouldn't even think it was a complex. It was a building. If they had a front desk, that's screaming money. That's not, that's high end. So when you try to like downplay and say he was found in an apartment, it probably was a very high end type of a residence. Right? And so MJ says now we're counting down on when he's buried. That is a normal thing for a person to ask, when would his funeral be? Because a person has to be buried. Why is that not a question that can be asked? When a person passes away, they have a funeral. They are buried. What do you want him to sit open and not be buried? His body's going to be stinking. He has to be buried. No one is counting down the days when he's going to be buried. People are simply asking. Okay? So I think that you're being a little brash with your comments. Because first of all, we are speaking on the life of Kevin Samuels, who he was. We're speaking about him. He didn't leave much behind as far as what his personal life was like, where he grew up, and all of that. So we only have what it is that he left behind through videos and articles and past publications. So if it was a video and we were over here praising him, I don't think that you would be speaking that way. We are actually neutral. I really don't care which way or the other. I am not a Kevin Samuels fan, and I'm not a Kevin Samuels not fan. Okay? So I am speaking about the life and the death of Kevin Samuels. It is a known fact that the man died and he has to be buried. It is normal conversation. Nothing's wrong with what we're saying. We are not downing him. We are not dragging him. We are speaking about his life. We are speaking about how he rose to fame. We're giving the backstory and showing how he got there. Now, MJ, I'm going to delete you. I'm going to block you because you're not going to put people down about who you are as a person. You're not going to put Black Magic down saying that, what are her credentials, and I'm going to time you out for a little while, and then maybe you can come back and speak respectfully to people if you want to continue to comment in the chat. So I'm not going to delete you, but I'm just going to time you out for a little bit so that you can pause, do some deep breathing, because doesn't take all that. The degrees don't matter in a chat. None of that. And you're not going to have that type of dialect and exchange with people. We don't care anything about degrees or anything like that. All right? So we don't have to be disrespectful and we don't have to put people down. All right. So we are all entitled to our opinions. We're speaking about Kevin Samuels. We have the previous video. Look at the part 1. We're giving you the backstory of who this man was, where he came from, how he rose to power in the manosphere. Period. I can't help it if he makes himself look a certain way. This is the videos that he left behind. I'm not editing up the videos. I'm not putting the videos together to make him look a certain way. This is himself representing himself. Period. So we all know and have heard that Kevin Samuels passed away while entertaining a traveling nurse. Well, we have the audio, the 911 audio, and I will warn you that it is very triggering. It is very emotional. I really felt for the woman. You can tell that it is a genuine 911 clip. It is not fake. It is not doctored. This woman is in distress. She is watching someone die before her eyes. He's gasping. His heart is irregular. All of these things. He's turning blue. Whether or not people say It sounded like she wasn't doing this, and sounded like she wasn't giving CPR. And it sounded like people need to stop analyzing everything and trying to make conspiracies out of everything. This man died. He died. It is a known fact that he died. Okay? And he died in front of her. You have to have some compassion and have some decency and put yourself in that position, whether you like him or not. Whether you like him or not. This is a devastating situation to be in. Listen.
The address of your emergency?
I really need some help.
Okay. Hello, ma'am. Take a deep breath, and what's the address that you're at?
I'm not sure. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
Give me 1 second. I'm not sure. I just oh my God. Hold on.
Okay.
You need to come to. It's the residence. It's please just come past. It's Kevin Daniels. You need to come.
Ma'am, take a deep breath. 731. What is the street name?
It is 2.
Now, what I did feel so sorry for, and this is very extremely aggravating. I've been in this situation before. Now, again, this is a trigger warning. This 911 call is very triggering and it's emotional. And I am going to be stopping it here and there to just give a little bit of interjection and commentary. I did find this very extremely disturbing because the person that was in charge of this call, the operator, it was just very, she was not affected by this at all. It was like, this is just the everyday thing, and I get it. Sometimes you get really jaded by your job. You get these calls all day long and it's really, you're used to it. And, you're immune. You become immune to it. But you have to take everyone's situation and you have to have compassion. You got to have empathy. And she was just so, no type of empathy or compassion for this woman. Ma'am, like it was so heartless. And my heart went out to her. You can hear her. Like, yes, Kimmy, she tried so hard to bring him back. She really did. She was trying to give him CPR. She was trying to help him. She was trying to speak life into him and tell him, think of your mom, think of your child. Regardless of whether you like Kevin Samuels or not, this is a human being. And put yourself in that position. Would you even be able to, how would you feel in that moment? That had to be heart-wrenching. That had to be a difficult moment to watch someone's life just slip through your fingers and knowing you can't do nothing about it. You're trying to tell them to hurry up and get there. This is horrible.
97 East Paces Ferry Road, Northeast.
Okay, is this a house or apartment?
Oh my God, I fucking know.
You don't know if it's a house or apartment?
Oh, it's an apartment.
Okay, what's the apartment number?
No, I just need to give him CPR. Just please, just ask for
You need an ambulance?
Yes.
Okay, hold on. Okay, listen, hold on. Let me connect you with the ambulance. Do not hang up.
Are you listening?
Hold on, ma'am. I have to connect you with the ambulance.
It's Kevin fucking Samuels.
I understand, but I have to connect you with the ambulance.
Are you okay?
EMS will be out of your emergency.
Hey, buddy. So, ma'am, it's going to be 297 East Paces Ferry Road, Northeast.
Hello, ma'am. Is this a house, apartment, or a business?
This is
It's an
heart-wrenching.
apartment. Please, just the resident.
What's the apartment number?
I don't know. He just asked the friend, Kevin Samuels. It's up in, I'm not sure what it is, but just, he's not breathing. I'm trying to give him CPR, and he's breathing now, but I think he has a regular rhythm. Please, hurry.
And then when people say, well, was he breathing or was he not? One minute she says he's breathing, but she's hysterical. She's hysterical. She doesn't know whether he's breathing or not at this point. She's hysterical, okay? She's a nurse. Yes, it's true. What type of nurse is she? Do we know her qualifications? Do we know what she's accustomed to saying? We have people that are RNs. We got people that are ER nurses, trauma nurses. But then we got people that are LPNs, that are nurses that only do home care, and they've never seen a live death. They've never seen a person take their last breath. They might not be trained in trauma or emergency situations. While they might be trained in CPR, and every nurse knows CPR, do they know it properly? Do they know that when someone is having an irregular heartbeat or arrhythmia or something like that, that CPR and breathing into them is not the thing to do? Did she know that? Well, if you are cardiac, professional, or anything about that, you would know that you really should not be doing that. But she did know that she needed the defibrillators. She did know that. But just because she is an RN, that's her medical qualifications. That's what she went to school, and she's qualified to be an RN. But what is her everyday field? What does she do? Just because she's an RN doesn't mean that she's accustomed to death, that she's accustomed to emergency situations. People get training, but they don't use it every day. Right? Okay. That's it, MJ. You're done. I gave you a timeout. You still came back with the aggression. So now you are deleted. You can no longer comment on videos. I told you we are not going to be doing that in the chat. Yes, Good Vibe said you would be surprised at the nurses who have never been in a code situation. Makeup Lover says she's an RN. It's different when you're trying to care for someone totally different. Great point. It is when you are in an intimate situation. We know that allegedly he fell on top of her. So was she naked? You know what I'm saying? Didn't have no clothes on. They was just doing whatever. He could be naked. She could be naked. She's in there like, we just literally just got to, emotions are running high. And now she feels like it's her fault. What did I do something? We don't know if she's seen, was he partying, taking drugs? We don't know what was going on in that apartment. We have no idea what was going on. We don't know. Kasha says, right, they are trained in all situations, including how to stay calm, but training and real life action, two different things. I can be trained all day long by the book, trained and given all of the tactics, how you're supposed to handle it, but you don't know what to do until you are faced with that situation. You don't know how to act. And if you are an RN, you have to use those skills every day. Coding, bringing someone back from a cardiac situation, bringing someone back by doing CPR. You got to really be known, and you can't be all, emotional and all upset and all in a frenzy trying to do that. That's just, we can want to say all day long, she's a nurse, she should have known what to do. But yeah, not so much when you're faced with, you heard her kept saying, this is Kevin effing Samuels.
I'm a nurse, but I'm trying to PR.
Thank you. We didn't know exactly what apartment number to go to.
I don't know, but it's the front desk.
What's that phone number you're calling us from, man? Is he awake?
No, he has an irregular rhythm. I can feel it. He's breathing in and out, but he has an irregular rhythm. It's probably his heart. So I need you to get here with the fucking.
Man, I'm
Stop it.
my mask.
Now, she knew exactly that he had an irregular rhythm, and she knew that she needed a defibrillator. She knew that it was his heart that was being affected. But she knew that it wasn't anything she could do. When you are in that type of distress, CPR is not really going to help with your heart. It's going to keep breath probably trying to run through your body. But there are arguments right now speculating that when you're in this type of situation, are you even supposed to be administering CPR? Are you even supposed to be breathing breath into someone? He's already breathing. He's still breathing. So some people have speculated that she could have sped up the death by doing that because she was so frantic and all she went to was straight CPR. That's all I can do at this moment. I don't have a defibrillator. I got to do something. But did she actually aid in his demise by doing that? That has been a conversation.
Requesting fire and PD for 9 Echo 1. 9 Echo 1.
Getting blue. Okay. I'm 7, man. Hold on. I'm 791, Oh my God.
Okay, ma'am. We have help en route. We have fire and EMS around, but we didn't know that apartment number, ma'am. It didn't take longer if we have to ask the front desk, ma'am. We didn't know what
I'm
apartment
not
number
going to
you're
stop
in.
giving, you just ask the front desk. I'm not going to stop giving him CPR. Just ask the front fucking desk.
And see, they're telling her to find out what apartment number it is. She's saying, I'm not going to stop giving him CPR to go find out what the number is on the door. I put something in the door and open the door for you guys to know where to come. But I'm not going to stop giving him CPR. But some people have speculated that she should have, that she should not have been breathing into someone that is already breathing. He's just having heart issues.
So, man, there's been a delay response. If we're trying to ask you exactly where he is, we don't know. Have you called the front desk at least?
No, I called you. Man, take a deep breath.
And this girl, ma'am, take a deep breath. So, my God.
I am taking a deep breath. I'm a fucking nurse. Okay, ma'am, calm down. And could you go to the front door and look at the door number? No.
And that girl is extremely antagonizing. And I really hope when they reviewed this phone call that she was put on some type of training or she was put on some type of reprimand or something, because she clearly was antagonizing her. And she was, I've never heard anything. I mean, this was horrible. And when I've been in a situation like this with my daughter with asthma and I call, you don't want to hear nobody talking to you like that. That will make you, it'll trigger you even more.
Oh, because then I'm stopping to give him CPR. He needs it.
Oh, okay, broken heart. So CPR is not for breathing, just for breathing. Cardiopulmonary resuscitation is to keep the heart beating too. Great, but there's been conversation that was, they said for irregular rhythm or something like that, that you're not supposed to give CPR, that you're not supposed to breathe into a person that's already breathing when they have an irregular heartbeat. That's just what I saw medical professionals saying in this comment section of this video.
Come on, it's okay. Come on, you got it. Come on. It's okay. Take a deep breath. You got it.
So, ma'am, right now you're breathing.
You're okay. Come on, I got you. Don't worry, I got you.
Did he start breathing again, ma'am?
No, he's not. He's had a regular heartbeat and he's turning fucking blue.
Ma'am, if there's a defibrillator available, send someone to get it now. Okay, tell me when you have it.
I'm just giving him CPR. I'm going to try to open the door, but I don't want to stop giving it to him.
Please quickly go to the door, and while you're at it, leave the door open wide for us so we can get
Now, that is not my
This is a
phone
hip hop
that's
inquirer
going
exclusive.
on. I don't know if that was on her end or where we got this recording, if that was their phone, but I would think not. So I don't know if that was her phone going off in the background, Kevin's phone but somebody's phone notifications was going off. It was going ham.
Is there anybody else there with you, ma'am?
No.
Thank you, Gamblers Anonymous. Welcome to the channel.
Okay, ma'am. Why you do CPR? What's that phone number you're calling us from?
This is a hip hop inquirer exclusive.
Your name?
Hortensia. Last name Alcantara.
And I did not understand that name. I said, oh, okay. She had that Spanish rocking, honey. She had that.
You got it. You got it.
She had that last name, Hortensia. She had that roll of that tongue, honey. She didn't miss a beat with that, honey. She did not miss a beat. She put that down. She rolled that tongue, honey. Them tears dried up real quick. Get it right. And Makeup Lover says at one point it sounds like someone's in there. I thought the same thing. Like, who is she talking to? Sound like she talking to somebody else. Now, I know she was talking to Kevin, telling him, come on, come on, your mom, think of your mom, your daughter. But it seemed like she said something to somebody. Like she said, she spoke to somebody. She was speaking to somebody.
Come on, baby, you got it. You got it. I'm going to open the door for you. It's really fast, but I'm going to come and give him CPR.
Now you hear that? She said, open the door. I'm going to stop and I'm going to give him CPR. Something. I don't know if she was speaking to someone else or if she was speaking to the operators because she was on, speaker. So we don't know. We weren't there. We don't know.
Thank you. And check the door, apartment number while you're at it.
Come on, Kelly, you got it. Come on, just try to breathe. Come on, you got it. Come on, think about your mom. Think about your daughter. Let's go. Hurry, please. Hurry.
Yes, I'm on the way. Well, the fire department and the ambulance are going right now. We're trying to get to her as quickly as possible. She's doing CPR, ma'am. Something on his chest?
Yes. Come on, Kelly, you got it. You got it. You're trying to do that. I know you are. This is your heart. Okay. No, don't worry.
And Mr. Pinkett, do you know if this is a gate code or a door code?
I don't know. This is my first day here.
That's fine, that's fine.
Please.
We'll get in the front door with security. And you left the door open, is that correct?
I put the fucking shoes there. Please hurry. Hurry.
I'll let them know, ma'am. Yes, they are on their way. Just keep doing CPR.
Yeah. She had to be traumatized. This was horrible. My heart goes out to her. I cannot imagine. You can hear it. You can hear the anguish in her voice. She is like just through. This was horrible. Oh, Healing Force says it's fake. Okay. Well, doesn't sound fake to me, but.
Are you coming?
Yes, ma'am, they're on the way. We're trying to get to them.
I don't think I can do it any longer.
Keep going, ma'am. You're doing a good job. Just making sure they're flat on their back on the floor.
So the reason she didn't know the address, when you are going, okay, so let's just put it in this perspective of maybe why she didn't know the address. If you've never been there before, you just met this man, you just went to his house. You were not looking to see what apartment number you went in. She did give them the address. She told them exactly Paces Ferry. She gave the address in the beginning of the video. She just didn't know the actual apartment number. Maybe she didn't, maybe she did. She was really in a state of mind where she was all over the place. I don't know if you can be that composed, while someone is dying right in front of you and you're trying to give them CPR, you're trying to keep them living, and they're literally stroking out, heart tacking out, whatever it is. Can you imagine? They're turning blue. They're gasping. You're trying to do something about it. You feel totally helpless because there's no ambulance coming. I don't believe that it's a hoax. I don't believe that it's a setup. I really believe that it happened like they said it happened, that they was having sex and he fell on her. I believe that he had a heart attack. And he already had, the medical issues in the beginning of his life with the cancer at 21. It's not uncommon for a man in his 50s, late 50s, to have a heart attack. And it's not uncommon for men to have heart attacks in the act of having sex. So I don't believe that it is fake. It just seems to me that he was with a woman that he met. They did not know each other. You see the last recording that he did. He was speaking to her in the background. He was telling her he about to get on camera. He was entertaining her. We don't know what they were doing in that apartment. We don't know if they were drinking, drugging. We don't know what they were doing that led up to this happening. We don't know. There is a lot going around, a lot of different narratives and a lot of different stories. Until they release an official report, toxicology, all those things, we will not do anything but speculate. So we have to wait and see what's going to come out as far as toxicology.
Please,
Keep going, ma'am. Making sure, are they flat on their back and there's nothing under his head? Is that correct?
No, I pulled him from the ground and put him on the ground. He can have a flat surface, but I can't keep going with the CPR.
Keep going, ma'am. Keep going, ma'am. You're a nurse. You know how important that is to help them.
Yes.
So keep going, ma'am. You're doing a good job. It should be there soon.
So, Daddy, just for clarification, is he or is he not breathing?
He's not conscious, but he's breathing.
Okay.
Periodic heart is not beating.
Okay, Daddy.
Right. They were two consenting adults, definitely. She wasn't forced there. Something like that, makeup lover, something. And we don't know, like when they say he fell on her, we don't know if he fell on top of her in the act of sex. We don't know if he fell into her while they were walking through the apartment, and like makeup lover says, after they already done it or something. and they was walking, kicking it in the apartment. It could have been, how you do, having breakfast or having a snack. We don't know what was going on, right? And we don't know if he fell into her that way, But what I do know, this recording, this woman is, this is not fake. It just don't sound fake to me. Exactly, broken heart. Being thin does not make you healthy. The heart is a muscle. The heart has nothing to do with whether you're thin or skinny or fat or whatever. Your heart is your heart. It has nothing to do with the size of a person at all. So you can be the skinniest person or the biggest person. You can have a heart attack. We've seen children, teenagers have heart attacks playing sports. It all has to do with the health of your heart.
And then just to make sure you're doing it right, I'm going to give you the CPR instructions. Listen carefully, and I'll tell you how to do chest compressions. Make sure he is flat on his back on the floor. Place the heel of your hand on the breastbone and the center of the chest, right between your nipples. Put the other hand on top of that hand.
I understand.
Pump the chest hard and fast, at least 5 per second and 2 inches deep. And let the chest come all the way up between pumps. We're going to do this 600 times or until pump can take over. Count out loud, so I can count with you.
And I mean, that phone is steady going off. I don't know whose phone that is. I don't think it's the person that recorded this video. I do not think it was the 911 operators, but somebody's phone is back there just going off. I'm like, I'm like, is it the person that recorded this video? Maybe it was. I don't know. But anybody let me know if you've heard this recording on another platform. Is the notifications going off during that video? Because if it is, then that means that was her phone or Kevin's phone or somebody's phone. I would expect Kevin's phone maybe to be going off like that because he's a social media person and notifications are going to come through all the time on his phone. So I need to know that. Is that coming from the video or is that coming from the 911 call?
We do this in system force like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1.
So, and you hear her, she's continuing to ask, are they on their way? Are they coming? And that's a desperate situation when you are trying to give someone CPR, you're trying to do these things, and you're in a situation where it's like never ending. So, very sad. The death of Kevin Samuels. Whether you like the man or you didn't like the man, I wanted to provide you with some information to show you where he came from, give you a little bit of background. Go to the first video and get that replay so you can get that information to go with this video. You got to watch that video to get this video. To understand what's going on this video, you got to watch that first video. So Gamblers Anonymous, we have a part 1, and we did that earlier. I've been up all night. I ain't went to sleep. I had insomnia. I got to go to work in a couple hours too. I probably just lay down for a little bit, but I got to be right back up in 3 hours. But I get like that. I have my little insomnia, but it's the weekend. It's a Friday, so I'll be able to sleep in and everything and enjoy my weekend. That's what I will be doing. I will be enjoying my weekend with my children and with you, because I'll be doing some lives and I'll be getting my content ready for our class that we have on the 21st. So yeah, the death of Kevin Samuels. Whether you like the man or you don't like the man, my objective, mission complete. I think we gave you a well-rounded view of Kevin Samuels. I gave my view, my little opinion of how I felt about him. I mean, The black women that felt like they were insulted by Kevin Samuels, that felt that Kevin Samuels was disrespectful, he did not like black women, that he was, rude to black women. These women went to his platform time and time again. They were there with bells and whistles on. They constantly thought that they were going to be able to, it was one of those things where they thought that they were going to be able to be the one to conquer him. But he would purposely, when a person has figured out what they're going to do on YouTube or the internet, who they're going to be, you're not going to be able to conquer them because they're going to always come back with something to overthrow you. So with the women, that's what they would do. They thought that they would be able to go up there and slay. They thought that they would be David slaying Goliath. But that was never going to happen because he had an agenda. He didn't want them to conquer Goliath. He wanted them to stay and play the position that they played. Right? He wanted them to play that position, and they played it very well because they kept going up there time and time again. Me, the type of person I am, I did not watch this man's content. I did not watch it. Oh, the bell thing you hear is 911. Okay, so it is not, it's not notifications. It sounds like notifications to me. Sound like a phone notifications. I don't know. So I don't know why it would be 911. I've never heard that type of noise on a 911 call. That sound like phone notifications. But let me know, is it on the other videos of the call? Is that coming from the 911 person had notifications coming on through their phone? Or are you saying that it's a 911, that noise is part of their system? Because I've never heard that on a 911 call. It sounded like notifications through a phone. I said, somebody's phone going off. Somebody need to be written up or something. Honey, you ain't supposed to have your phone on while you at work. Honey, it's just coming through the phone. So, I never really watched Kevin Samuels, his material, until I did this video, until I started doing research on him. I didn't watch him because he just wasn't my cup of tea. Why am I going to watch someone that does not like me? If he don't like me, what am I watching him for? If we're saying that Kevin Samuels does not like black women, then why am I watching Kevin Samuels? Stop putting yourself in positions to be ridiculed if you don't want to be ridiculed. Stay away. These women didn't have to go up there. And that's the problem that I had. While I understood his message, there were some things that he would say. I understood his message. Absolutely. It would just be the delivery, hanging up on people and, downplaying them and degrading them in front of a large audience. That's embarrassing. But when you're giving a presentation and you understand what your market is, who you're marketing to, that's what they want to see. And that's what he's going to do every time. He figured it out. He figured out what those men wanted to see. Huh? He was renting a room. Okay. Yes, his channel was pageantry, tricks, and theater for entertainment purposes to get a bag. That's exactly what it was. And can you be mad at that? Are you mad at that? Or are you not? Like, did he just get his bag? Is that something that the black women didn't have to go? He wasn't catering to y'all. He was catering to men. So why are you on his platform being shamed? Why are you up there asking this man for advice? Because you think I'm going to be different. That's a lot of women's problem, though. That one thing I will say, women do have a problem with that. I have that problem. I'm different. I'm going to be different. I see, abuse and I think, oh, I can change him. He's never spoke to no one like me. He's going to understand me and we're going to have a good back and forth. He's not going to shame me in front of the crowd. because he identifies with me. I'm different. I'm not like those other women that he talked down to. Those other women were ghetto. You know, I have a problem with thinking that, oh, I'm different. I can help other people. You know, oh, they show you who they are and, oh, I can help them. You know, no, they're showing you. Stay away from it. That's what I'm learning to do. Stay away from it. But those women thought that they were different, that they were going to go. Every woman that he downplayed and shamed in front of the crowd, they thought they were going to be different. They thought they were going to go up there and they thought they were going to be able to conquer Kevin Samuels. And every time he figured out a way to prove them wrong, because he would purposely, if you are purposely doing something, you are not going to let them win. You're not going to let them women win, in a sense, conquer you, get their point across. No, you're going to find every avenue to make them look stupid and play the little sound effects and all that, what we saw. I said, now that woman, she don't realize he's playing sound effects. No, she just sat up there and she was just, it goes to show you, self-absorbed, just up there, just running her mouth, talking, not paying attention. There are some things that he pointed out about black women, about women in general, that we need to fix. There are some things. But did he need to say it in the way? Did he need to use it and exploit it for $1? Absolutely not. And if you felt like he was giving good advice, book that shit behind the scenes. Don't go up there on the camera and get humiliated and then cry and complain and sign change petitions because you got embarrassed. You could have booked that shit behind the scenes. Nobody had to hear your conversation with Kevin Samuels. But again, I think I'm different. I'm going to go up in front of people and I'm going to be able to conquer Kevin Samuels. He's not going to do me like he did all the other women. That's what those women were doing time and time again. I'm not like them. I'm different. No, girl. He don't think none of y'all different. He treats y'all all the same. He got his picks, the Britney Renners. Okay? He got his picks. These are the high value women. These are the women that he says are high value. These type of women. A Britney Renner, someone that said they were living with their mother and sister before they got with Kevin Samuels. He bought her a car and repossessed it and took it from her after only keeping her for 2 months. He got tired of her, used her up, and put her out. Put her out. But that's a high value woman. Why? Because she's arm candy. She's arm candy. This was a man that was a middle-aged man. A lot of times when men get to this stage in their life, they are having a midlife crisis. They want to trade in their car. They want to trade in their wife for a younger model. They want to trade in their car for a newer model. They want to get fly. They want to, he went from the actual stylist to now a brand owner. He's a brand consultant and he's grand. He's high level. And usually that's what happens at this age, child. They start feeling, I need spice in my life. I got to spice it up. Need a new woman, need a new car. They start dating younger women. Right? Because they need excitement in their life. So they use this little midlife crisis stage and put it in front of these men and say, he reinvented himself. That's what it is. He reinvented himself. And he figured out that men wanted to buy it. He packaged it up, made it look good, and figured out men wanted to buy it. And I'm not mad at him. Hey, if it worked, what I don't appreciate is the downgrading of my sisters, is the disrespecting of women. But hey, you can't be disrespected if you don't put yourself in that position. You didn't have to be there, ladies. You didn't have to be there. Right? All right. So that's it, guys. That is, we did, I really didn't think that it was necessary to do an actual documentary, like a still shot documentary. I felt like, I can give my commentary and we can do this live because it's really not a lot of information on Kevin Samuels. It really isn't. So let's just do this as a live, honey, because, honey, this photo right here, this photo is photoing. This is young Kevin, honey. This is young Kevin. In case you didn't see that first video, honey, this is Kevin from the yearbook. This is what he was calling himself, Fred. They had Fred in parentheses. I said, well, Kevin and Fred, that don't sound nothing alike, honey. So he always wanted to be Fred. There was always a Fred inside of him. And he got up on that social media and Fred came out. That's who y'all see. That's who y'all saw. That was Fred. Fred was always there. Fred had that Jerry curl. And Kevin had that Jerry curl. And Fred said, when I get on, I'm cutting this Jerry curl and piercing my nose. And I'm going to get me some money. I'm Fred. And that's who y'all saw. Fred. It was not Kevin. Fred did it. Okay? Fred did it. Now, this actual mugshot that you guys see, we don't even know where that is from. I searched and searched and searched, and I have no idea. I can only speculate. Was it a child support situation? Everybody got a mugshot, child. All these goddamn people in Atlanta got mugshots. And if, it's true what people say about him with, taking things back to the store. Maybe it was a boosting situation. I don't know. Maybe it was shoplifting. I don't know. Or maybe it was just child support, arrears. I don't know. But there is not any information on this mugshot. I cannot find it. But that is a mugshot of young Kevin. Okay? So that's what the T is on that mugshot. We don't know the T. If anybody know the T, drop down in the daggone comments. I'm not ashamed to say it. I don't know. I searched and searched. I Googled. I dug. And I couldn't find it. Couldn't find the backstory to this mugshot. So if anybody knows, let me know. I'm thinking it's got something to do with the child support. All right. So I'm going to send you out with 7 fucking fabulous fragrances.
And today we have
7 fucking fabulous fragrances. 7 fucking fabulous fragrances. 7 fucking fabulous fragrances. Welcome to the channel where fashion meets fragrance. My name is Kevin Samuels, your godfather of style. And guys, in today's video, 7 fucking fabulous fragrances that you can wear any season, any reason, any geography, any age, any time.
Welcome back. My name is Kevin Samuels. I'm a professional men's stylist trying to help each one of you look good, smell great, and be your best each and every day. And today we have a good one. Today's video, I partnered up with Notino to bring you a fragrance from one of my favorite countries, Italy. And the house is Nasomato, and this fragrance is called Pardon. Personal confession. I always say personal brand is what people think about you when you leave the room. And if I believed in reincarnation, I believe I was either Chinese or Asian or Italian in another life.
And that shit speaks volumes. In another life, he was Chinese, Asian, or Italian. He was not a black man. Y'all be sure to like this video, share this video, but most importantly, be sure to subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.